Good morning, Cindy here, and today we are going to be talking about daylilies. I am a first-time grower of daylilies, and I am totally hooked. Now I am passionate about them. I'm going to insert a picture here of what this beautiful daylily looked like. It started blooming in May and bloomed its head off all the way through October, if you can believe it. And so some varieties are long bloomers like that. Some varieties are early bloomers, mid bloomers, late bloomers. But I tell you what, it is an absolutely beautiful flower. Each flower is open for one day and then they die, hence the name daylilies. And they are so easy and they love full sun. They also do not mind our limestone high alkaline soil, and they are drought resistant. They did want water when it was the hottest time of the summer here in Central Texas. But I tell you what, I just really want more of them. I was given these daylilies by my neighbor across the street. Thank you so much, Dina. And they are the most beautiful orange daylily. And I think that they're just a common tiger lily. They have the beautiful orange centers, and they are so long blooming. And I feel like that they are going to be somewhat evergreen if we have a fairly mild winter. Now, if we get a really tough winter, I'm sure that they will die back, but they will definitely come back every year. And every year they multiply. And this is just the first year, and it's already, I'm going to say it's 22 to 24 inches in diameter in one year. So today we are going to talk about dividing our daylilies. And it is quite easy, and you just need one of these little garden forks. You could probably do it with a shovel. And I'm going to show you step by step through the process of what we do. You're going to want to divide your daylilies when they get this packed, usually every 2 to 3 years. So I am going to divide this one, but some of my other ones, I have quite a nice row of them down this garden bed. But this one has become so tightly packed, and I have neighbors that would like to have some, so I'm going to go ahead and divide. But it's not necessary to do this, but every 2 to 3 years. And it will help your plant to be more prolific and have more flowers, bigger flowers. So that's why we do it. So today it is early fall. It is the middle of November, and it's a beautiful day here in Central Texas. And I am going to go ahead and take my fork and get a big clump of this out, and then I'm going to lay it out on our table and show you what we do next. So I'm not going to take the whole thing. I'm just going to take this back half closest to the camera, and I'll leave the front half to keep on growing and multiplying. So I'm going to kind of nestle my fork kind of, a couple inches away, and gently kind of rock my fork back and forth. And then I'm going to go all the way around, trying to be as gentle as possible. Try not to get in front of the camera. I hear a lot of tearing. I hope everything's okay. It recently rained, so that's good. The ground is a little bit wet. I'm going to go all the way around before we really get physical with it. Okay, let's see what we can do now. See if I can lift it. I feel like I've got it. Feels kind of loose. Here they come. Look at that. Just beautiful. Got all these little tubers on it, and there's quite a few that I can spread out and also share. See if I can get one other little spot here. There's still so much here. I think it's a lot easier because it's recently rained and the ground is somewhat wet. I just can't believe how much this thing multiplied in just 1 year. Was pretty happy. Okay, I'll take this clump right here. Look at that. Wow. And then I'm going to stomp around and try to put this part, keep this part back in. So I'm back here at my potting bench. I'll bring the camera down in just a second. But I am very curious to know how many of you out there love daylilies, and if you have become passionate about them as I have, and what is growing best for you. Now, there is a wonderful group here in Austin called the Austin Daylily Society, and it's austindaylily.org. And they have um, meetings and they have sales and so much information on what to plant here in our area. And I will put a list of Central Texas daylilies that do best here. So that could be helpful to you. And I'm also going to put a list up of the 4 best nurseries in the Austin area. These are 3 in South Austin, 1 kind of Central Austin, and that really do know daylilies. And sometimes, you know, you'll see them for sale, but you've got to be careful that you are getting varieties that really, truly will do well in our incredible heat and sun. Daylilies want full sun. If you have 6 hours of sun, you're going to get the best flowers. Okay, so let me bring the camera down and show you what we've got here. Okay, so I've got my big clump. Look at this. And I still have another big clump down on the ground. So, and what you're going to do is, I watched people do this on YouTube because I told you this is my first year. But I have divided other things before. I've divided iris, so I'm pretty sure that this is fairly easy. And they suggested that you could use the water hose to get some of the dirt off, if to help you see more about what you're doing. But you're just gently going to kind of try to untangle the roots. And there we have our first one. And daylilies grow in this beautiful fan shape. Isn't that cool? And then they have these great roots. And you're going to kind of look at this and make sure that it seems healthy. And like this guy here, I'll pull off. And there we have one. So my friends are going to be super happy. And if you can't get this in the ground right now, then it's really great to wrap it in a wet towel or wet sheet and before you get it over to your friend's house. So that is great. But I am going to be giving half of these away and keeping half. All right, let's keep on digging in here and see what we've got. And that one came loose pretty well. Look how nice. Now this one has the nice octopus flare to it. Isn't that pretty? And you'll make a little mound, and you'll set this right on top of the mound. And you don't want to plant these too deeply, I've read. You want to plant them just, a couple of inches, and you don't want to cover up much of this base here. So we'll just keep on doing that. And now that you've watched me do a few of them, and okay, that was a no-no. So that, I did break that. So it does still have a lot of roots. So we'll see. I hope that one will make it. I watched a wonderful Austin gardener, Tricia Shirey, with the Central Texas Gardener, and she suggested a trusty screwdriver could also be helpful to kind of pry some of these apart. But just, you have to be fearless. You got to just get in there. All right, I'm just going to start pulling. I don't want to hear snapping. Oh, there went one. There's a good one. Looks like I've got about 3 more in here. They are so tightly tangled together. I hope that some of you that do this all the time aren't cringing and screaming at me. You're doing it all wrong. They're certainly not just coming apart that easily. But here it comes. All right, there was another one. Yay. And looks like I've got this really pretty one here. If I can get this little baby off. Oh, that one goes in the trash. No roots. Let's get right in here. And they also said if you just feel like you're doing too much damage, plant it all together. You can plant it all in a grouping if you need to. But I am going to get these apart. Oh, look. Awesome. Very nice. And then this one looks to be just one really nice big one. I am just so thrilled. Look at all those neat little bulbs, or whatever you call it, tubers. I believe these are called tubers. Okay, so then the next thing it says to do is to give it a little haircut. So take your scissors and cut about 6 inches of leaves. Leave about 6 inches of leaves. So that way your daylily is putting more energy into repairing the roots and less energy into the leaves up top. Okay, so looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fans from that one clump. So I am just thrilled to death. I feel really good about that. And I have another clump here. So there's 8. And this one seems to be a little bit easier to pull apart. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Awesome. Okay, so I am going to trim the tops, and then I'll take you over to the garden and I'll show you how it is suggested that we plant them. One other really important thing I want to mention is daylilies are like candy to deer. They will eat your daylilies all the way to the nub. So don't plant them in the front yard. Plant them in the backyard behind a good fence. So this is the area right here to the left and the right of the bird bath that was too sunny for some of my other plants, and I had to take them out. And I think the daylilies will just fill this up nicely. So I'm going to pull back the mulch and get my fans of beautiful daylilies and put them in. Here we go. Well, the sun's come out, so I have to put on my hat. And I've got my wonderful little 4-prong soil cultivator, and this makes pulling back the mulch quite easy. So, and I've got my drip hose right about here. So I think I'm going to try to put these in right next to the drip hose, and that way I can save myself some work. I have definitely have lots of mulch here in this incredible heat. Thick mulch is important. Okay, so I'm going to have circumference of about 24 inches. Can have one here, and maybe one here. Okay. So now I'm at the soil, and they say that your roots need to be able to go down about 6 inches. And this is a raised bed that has been, we have added quite a bit of soil to this. And so I'm hoping I don't have to go down too far before I hit rock. So this isn't going to be one of those videos where I have to dig a deep hole. Hopefully this is going to be a video that I easily can move some soil. You don't want to plant these too deeply. I just want to make sure that I've loosened the soil so that it can have good drainage. But then I'm going to just, as soon as the soil is loose, then I will put it back, because that's about 6 inches there. And I'll feel good that those daylilies will be happy here. Okay. So the soil is nice and loose. I know that this bed gets good drainage from past plants that I've had here. All right, so I'm going to put this back, this good soil back. And you want to put your daylilies on a mound. And I'll show you what I mean about that. I'm going to bring the camera a little closer. So I've laid out my daylilies where I want them, remembering they're going to get to be about 22 inches in diameter. And I'm going to add a couple of things before I go. One of the first things I'm going to add is this compost. This is just a compost I use, Texas native. And then I am going to put a layer of that, like a couple of inches in my areas where I'm going to plant the daylilies. A couple of inches. I've heard that they also like peat moss. They like a little grit to keep the soil from getting compacted. So I always like to add some of my shale. So I'm adding some expanded shale also, and it keeps our clay soil expanded, and it just makes it easier for the plant to be able to put down roots. They want the soil well drained, and this is a really great way to help it stay well drained and not get too compact. Okay, so I'm going to put my gloves back on. And they want these to be kind of not buried too deeply. Just going to keep them kind of up high. So there's my first little mound. And there's a little mound. And a little mound over here. Right next to the drip. Because they do like to be watered. Okay, and then if you see here, you're going to spread this out. And you're going to kind of like little octopus legs, and you're going to lay it on top of the mound, just like that. And then we're just going to gently cover it up. And you don't want to get up too high onto its neck. Keep the soil off the neck, and definitely keep the mulch off the neck. And a couple of these I'm going to just pop off. They don't look too good. Okay. And then adding the water. I'm going to put the mulch around it. Not getting the mulch next to the neck, but it definitely needs a good amount of mulch. It helps it in the winter and helps it in the summer. Okay. I just need to do that 11 more times. This is a nice big one. This one actually has two together, but it was giving me trouble, so I'm leaving it that way. Okay, you're gonna just give it a little bit of dirt to get those roots covered up. So not too deep though. Take off these flopping down. I hope my hat is not covering up the video. All right, and then we're going to put the mulch back, not letting the mulch get too close to the neck. And then I'll water it in really well. And I have one more. So I planted 5 daylilies. I've got 3 on that side, 2 on that side, and I put some fencing around it to keep the dogs out because it looks so tempting. Fresh dirt is something my dogs just can't resist. So that'll help. I have some Espoma organic fertilizer that I'll sprinkle around. You can definitely fertilize your daylilies twice a year, spring and fall, and water that in really well. And now that I have these orange tiger lilies, I am headed out to find more wonderful varieties. I just can't get enough. So I hope you can get out and find some daylilies and plant them. They're just the easiest, most beautiful plants. They just bring you so much joy when you walk out and see their beautiful faces. Okay, I hope everybody gets a chance to get out in their garden today, in your garden today. So have a wonderful day, and please like and subscribe if you want more content like this.